So it has come to my attention that a lot of you actually don't know how to play speed duels on Duelingbook. So I'm going to go over a quick little tutorial on to show you how to do that. So we'd start out with opening Duelingbook. You log in. If you don't have a login, you can sign up. It's really simple, it's easy, it's free, it's all of the above. If you can't get Duelingbook to work, you can actually / HTML5 after your duelingbook.com, and it will bring up an it's the same version, it's the same Duelingbook, but it's a slightly different version, but it works through computers that no longer can hold like Flash and stuff. At the end of the year, I believe they're actually getting rid of Flash, and this will be the norm that we will be using in the future. So you do that, as always, and you click into Duel. So the first thing you'd have to do if you didn't have a speed duel deck is go to deck construction, and then build a deck, essentially. Like, in this case, we'll just call it speed duel deck. And then you build a deck using the search engine here. So what's interesting is that a lot of people don't realize if you hover over this, the word search actually slides over and more options appears. If you click more options and then go down to card pool, this has all of the cards that would ever have been printed, or at least have been uploaded up to Duelingbook thus far. You can do a custom cards option because Duelingbook does let you do custom cards, but we're not going to touch on that today. You can do a GOAT format, which is really, really cool. You can do rush duels, and you can do speed duels. So we're going to click the speed duel cards, and then we're going to hit search. And this just generically gives you every speed duel card that currently exists, all 26 pages of it. But if you want to finite your searches, you can go back to previous options. And then in here, you can search specifics. So let's say we want monster effects. Let's say we want dark machines, for example, right? Because Dex Heavy Metal Raiders focuses around dark machines. And you can fine-tune your search, and you will get every dark machine that currently exists and is legal in speed duels. Jinzo is included currently because Jinzo is legal overseas. So a lot of online tournaments have been allowing him. Currently, in paper speed duels, our tournament store, for example, has Jinzo as banned or illegal until the mass release of the speed duel box that comes out in November. But you can mix and match this however you want. You're playing on Duelingbook, so you can do whatever you feel, essentially. And basically, it's just a simple drag and drop method for the people that don't know how to use Duelingbook. You can also, I think it's double click. I'm on a Mac, so it's a 2-finger click to auto bring in something. I think it's double click. It's either double click, double right click. I'm not sure for all you PC people. But either way, and then like for example, if you wanted to bring in spells, you can actually search through names. So let's say we wanted break draw of all things. You can type in break and you'll get the word breaking. Break is in the wicked thing here. But let's say you can add it like that. But also in terms of, let's say you don't know what cards' names are, for example, and you want just machine stuff, this will, and you can click enter or search, and it'll bring up all your machine type things. And why is this up here? Oh, because it decreases machines. Okay, yep. You'll get literally everything that says machine in the card text, which is cool. So let's say you wanted a trap, for example, that dealt with machines. Currently there are none, so you hit search and nothing happens. But it's just as simple as that on how to add stuff to this deck. Keep in mind, this will let you add up to 60 on here. There's no specific section to do like a speed duel deck list. It's just all in the same category. But when you exceed 30 cards in your deck, it won't let you play in the speed duel window, which I'll get into in a second. So 20 to 30 cards is a speed duel deck. Make sure you save your deck when you're finished with it, and then if you want to play it, you either set it as default with this button here, or you can simply go into the duel room, go to your deck, and then select the deck here. So like this one's defaulted, but let's say we wanted to play Relinquished, for example. I have Virtual Ceremony Relinquished here. Then it could go as that. You can set it as default as well, or you would just simply get it there as your deck, and then you can go in as planned. But going back to the deck constructor for a second, so that's basically how this works. Speed duel rules, keep in mind, also is a 0 to 6 card side deck, so if you exceed the number in your side deck, it won't let you play, as well as the extra deck 0 to 6 cards as well. But all of that information, if you're unsure about it, can actually be found here. If you go to Duel Room, you get the duelist pool, you get an advanced unrated, you get a custom cards unrated. These are specific rooms. This is like where you play people for ranked, and these are unrated is unranked essentially. And Dueling Book doesn't make a very good note of this, but if you look at this little arrow here, you can actually click this and you get more options. So now we have a GOAT format, a traditional unrated, and an unlimited unrated. If you keep going, you actually get to the speed duel window and a rush duel window. If you click the question mark next to the word speed duel, this actually brings up a little disclaimer saying in this format only certain cards are allowed. Your decks must contain between 20 and 30 cards. Here's the entire speed duel rules. You can either hit OK if you know what's going on, or you can click this link, and this link brings you to a whole separate window which you don't need to be logged into Dueling Books to access, which I love. And this gives you the generic and basic rules to the entire format. So it'll tell you each player begins at 4,000. Each player starts with 4 cards in their hand. Main deck size is 20 to 30. Extra deck is 0 to 6. There's no main phase 2. The ally have a skill. You can have a skill. Actually, I like that it says you can, because you actually can play without a skill, which is interesting. But for the people that don't know what skills do, you can actually keep scrolling down, and it gives you an entire list of every single skill that is currently allowed to be played in this game, and I love this. For people that need to like specifically find something and you don't know names of skills, you can always Control F or Command F for all you Mac people, and let's say you want skills that deal with water, just do water in that search, and then you'll get all the ones. Catch of the Day comes up. If we click down, Terror from the Deep, the world's greatest fisherman. So it's really nice. And then even further down here, which I wanted to save for last, but I guess my search engine screwed me over here, you have the entire list of cards that is legal in speed duels, and I love this. I think this is really, really great on Dueling Book's part. They do a fantastic job keeping you up to date, and you can go through the entire list of everything that exists. For some reason, let's say you didn't know if Dark Magician was legal, you can type in Dark Magician, and both Dark Magician and Dark Magician Girl come up because it's in her name as well. Actually, one more card comes up, and that is Toon Dark Magician. But let's say, for example, you want Summon Skull. And see, Toon Summon Skull comes up, and we get a 1 of 1 here, but that shows you that regular Summon Skull is not actually in the game yet, for reasons beyond my knowledge. But it's perfect to find exactly what you're looking for. Not to say you can't just go to the deck menu and search all the cards that exist, but this is a really good way to figure out what skills do and how to choose your skill, because in Dueling Book, and we go back to this window here, if for example we wanted to play, down here is host the duel. You have the options of the regular, the custom, the GOAT, everything. Obviously, we have speed duels clicked because that's mainly what we do. You can choose a type with singles with siding, singles with no siding, or a 2 out of 3 match, which will automatically include siding. You can click whether you want to see people watch your game or not, which is cool. Like if we click down here to watch, you can actually go in and watch people's games. That's how people have seen. If you've seen some of my previous videos, you can go in and watch people duel. Oh, this is there's a flame manipulator here. And you can actually watch everything and interact. You can't like message them directly, but there is a watchers chat if for some reason you wanted to chat with the other watchers. And this is why clicking the watch button allows people to come in and watch your game live, or you can click that off if you don't want people to come in. You can have a password so that if you host a game, it becomes a little bit easier, so you don't get bombarded with messages for specific people. You can put a note in. Same with the watch note and a watch password. If you do want people to watch, but only specific people, you can put a watch password and a watch note, which is cool. But basically, let's just do basics here. If you go into speed, you do speed duels unrated. Let's just do single, whatever. Let's host duel. When you click host duel, the speed duel select skill you would like to use comes up. So for the people that have been wondering, where do I search the skill cards in the duel, in the deck constructor, it's actually here that you choose the skill you want to play for your specific deck. We're playing Relinquished currently, and I say RC, meaning Ritual Ceremony. That's how I remember which Relinquished deck it is. So I would go down and click Ritual Ceremony, and then I would hit OK, and then I show up here, and people can come in, and I can select them, and then once they show up and I want to play them, I can hit accept user, and then it goes into the duel thing. But the only confusing thing here is just the fact that you don't choose the skill in this window, and you can't search skills in this window. But because this window in Speed Duels currently exists, this makes it a lot easier to see what your skills that you're working with, what you want to play with. Like I said, we're using Relinquished, so let's choose Relinquished as our search. Thousand Eyes Spell is the skill that comes up that we could use for that. And oh, the other one didn't. Oh, okay. Ritual Ceremony is generic, so let's type in Ritual Monster, or just Ritual. We're gonna get everything with the word Ritual in it. There we go. Ritual Ceremony, Ritual Black Mastery. This works with Blackluster Soldier and Magician of Black Chaos, which is also 2 other Ritual monsters. Ritual Ceremony is the one we generically play most of the time. It says reveal a Ritual monster, add a Ritual spell. So, you know, it's a little bit of fine-tuning with the search engine, with Control F or whatever, but it gets you what you want to know. You can look things up. This way you don't have to Google everything specifically. It's all conveniently in one window for you. And then once you know what skill you want to play, you know, you go back into the duel room. What's cool is you don't actually have to click over here a million times if you don't want to, unless somebody else is hosting a duel. You can just simply go down here. You can click watch. You can hit host duel. You can do your Ritual Ceremony, and then it puts you automatically in this spot. So that's just generically how to play speed duels on Duelingbook. Also, for the people that want to know how to do replays, there's this cool fun factor that a lot of people don't realize, that out of these options that exist on Duelingbook, you can actually scroll down, and there are more options. It's amazing. It took me forever to figure this out for some reason. And Duel Records is actually something where you can go in and look at your matches and view every single replay. They actually split this up into every single game. Chances are, however, if you play a match and you try to click, like, let's say this game 2, for example, where we lost, it will actually start you at the beginning of the match, which is cool, so you'll be able to see the whole match all the way through. But that is basically it. If you guys want me to do like more tutorials on how Duelingbook works in general, I can. It's very simple. I'm sure you could Google this yourself or YouTube it yourself, but if you want me to do my own version, I'm definitely more than happy to do so. But this was just a little quick tutorial on how to play speed duels on Duelingbook, because a lot of people have actually asked me recently, how do I get in there? How do I choose my skill? That's the #1 question, actually. And how does Duelingbook recognize whether my deck is a speed duel deck or not? And like I said, it's just simple. You make sure your deck is 20 to 30 cards, 0 to 6 sides, 0 to 6 extra, and then you choose your skill when you go into the room, and you set your thing up, and you do it like this. So that is that. You can also choose none here, and that would enter you in with no skill. I don't know why you wouldn't use a skill, but some players actually have opted not to do so, and that is a legal thing you can do in speed duels. But guys, as always, comment, like, and subscribe. Click the notification bell to get all of our latest updates. Let me know what you think in the comments down below about tutorial videos like this, and I'm out. Peace.